Hello, this is Mark Moran, and I'm the founder of SweetSearch, which since 2009 has been the best search engine for students, teachers, and really anyone who cares about finding high quality resources online. I'm here to talk about our newest iteration of SweetSearch, which is SweetSearch History. And we're going to show you some of its results for a couple of terms and then compare them to that of Google. We think you'll agree with us that we think SweetSearch History is the best place to start your history research. The term we want to look up, I asked a high school student the other day what he was currently studying, and he told me the Teapot Dome scandal. This was what was called the biggest scandal in presidential history in the US until Watergate. This happened back in the 1920s, and it involved President Harding and his cabinet and an oil lease, and there was some bribery involved. And so I searched Teapot Dome scandal, and you'll see one ad from Google, but under the line are all the results from SweetSearch. The first one is Ohio History Central. This is a nice page created by people that are preserving the history of Ohio, where President Harding was from. The second one is the Gilder Lehrman collection. This is probably, in the top 5 of all student history websites on the web, maybe even the best. The next is the Miller Center from the University of Virginia, which is also an outstanding history resource. It's written by professors at UVA, but in a very accessible way. We then have a military museum from California, because there was some crossover between people involved in the California military and this scandal. And that's what we really try and emphasize, is these little niche resources that you may never find in Google. We want students to be able to find them. We surface them in SweetSearch History. The next is American Heritage, which has been a well-known history magazine since the 1940s. We then have a couple of videos from C-SPAN, a PBS segment, another C-SPAN video. Looks like C-SPAN's covered this pretty thoroughly because, as we said, it was the biggest scandal in presidential history for a long time. And then we have the Museum of Image Research from University of South Carolina. Actually has a silent movie covering some of the action on the first day of the trial. And so, we're really happy with these results. Now let's see what we get on Google. The first result is often the case on Google, is you get a result from Wikipedia, which is a fine place for most people to begin research, get a quick overview of the topic. But we're afraid that when students do that, they kind of anchor on the information they find there, not knowing whether it's accurate or not. The next entry is Britannica, again, another encyclopedia, a website on Wyoming history, which is probably okay. A couple from history.com, which covers history in a more casual, almost pop culture kind of way, I think, than something like Gilder Lehrman or the Miller Center, or some of these really great niche sites do. Finally, there's Gilder Lehrman, and that's a great resource, as we said. There's a page from the U.S. Senate. It just a one-page explanation of the scandal. An article from Esquire, the Ohio History site that we did see on SweetSearch, and then the Miller Center. So there's a few okay sources on here. Some, they're all fine, but some of them are really good. Most of them are so-so, where all the resources we saw in SweetSearch History were truly outstanding. Next, we'll take a look at Queen Nefertiti. She is a queen of Egypt from ancient times. And she's been in the news in recent years because of some new discoveries about her. So again, you have a few ads from Google, and then underneath the line, you go down to, there's a Guardian story about, these discoveries in 2015, as well as one from PBS. The next site is ancient.edu, EU, which is Ancient History Encyclopedia. This is an outstanding website created by academics in Europe to cover ancient history. They decided there was a dearth of these resources, and they went about it. And the site is now highly recommended by Oxford University and some other well-known universities in Europe. and has some outstanding partners. So it's a great resource that we rank very high in SweetSearch history, where it doesn't show up nearly as high in Google. A couple more news articles. Finding Dulcinea is the sister site of SweetSearch, and we had some really outstanding research experts write articles for that, specifically for students, and they all link to the resources. And so those tend to rank high in SweetSearch. Obviously, we like them. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Brooklyn Museum offer a lot of images of things that Nefertiti actually used. There's a site on biblical archaeology. You come to the next page and you see just more of the same, all high quality resources that you would love your students to find and use. Now let's take a look at what Google has for Queen Nefertiti. Again, it starts with Wikipedia, goes to biography and history.com. Again, okay sources, just not as in-depth as, like, say, a Gilder-Lehrman or a Millicent or ancient.edu or anything of that sort. A few of the, OFAC, 14 interesting facts on OFAC.com. That you don't want your students doing research there. There's a couple of other sites. They look okay, but clearly much higher quality, more consistent quality on SweetSearchHistory.com, and some really interesting sites that they may never find on Google. Thank you for listening. Please give us feedback on SweetSearch History. It's new. We're proud of it, but we intend to continually make it better for many years to come. Thanks so much.